As the days grow shorter and the weather turns cooler, the idea of home becomes all the more cozy. When we think of a cozy home, we most likely also think of homespun treasures and homemade goodies, all made with loving hands. Today we'll be celebrating all things homemade fall with an easy, no-sew craft, an adorable homemade bread, cozy stew, and delightful little autumn muffins that get gobbled up by my children and the neighbor children. I hope you'll join me. These little decorative pumpkins are quick, easy, and require no sewing skills at all. All you'll need is some scrap fabric, thrifted linens, worn clothing, old project scraps and such, some fiber stuffing of your choice, a few rubber bands, or hair elastics would also work, twine, scissors, and cinnamon sticks. I recommend buying cinnamon sticks that are intended for craft use, as they tend to be less expensive than those intended for cooking. You'll need to cut an approximate circle out of your fabric. Don't worry about it being perfect. You can always trim it later. Place a good amount of stuffing in the center, then gather your fabric up at the top and secure with a rubber band. Next, measure out a good length of twine, enough to wrap around your pumpkin several times. Find the center of your twine and center it on the underside of your pumpkin. Bring it up and over your pumpkin, placing it through the rubber band to hold it in place. If your rubber band is not sturdy enough, use a second one over the first one. Continue wrapping the twine around the pumpkin to create the characteristic lines of a pumpkin. Pull the twine as taut or not taut as you would like. Next, place the cinnamon stick in the hole as a stem and finish off with a bow. Speaking of pumpkins, several years ago I made pumpkin-shaped bread on this channel, back before it was a trend, and I posted photos of it on Instagram, and it even made it into a magazine, which was really neat. It's become a fun tradition for me each fall, and it makes a great gift for neighbors or family as well. It would be perfect to take to a fall gathering or for Thanksgiving. I feel like pumpkin-shaped breads you find on social media are mostly sourdough. I like sourdough, but I don't typically make it. And this bread is not sourdough. It's very easy to make. You can find my recipe for this in the video description below. Typically, when I make baked goods, I use half freshly milled whole wheat flour and half all-purpose flour. That's just the ratio my family tends to prefer. So mix together your flour, salt, warm water, and yeast in a bowl until a sticky dough forms. You'll cover the bowl and let it rise for 2 hours in a fairly warm but not hot location. After the 2 hours, turn the dough out onto a floured surface and sprinkle it with a little more flour and gather it up into a ball. You'll cut 3 lengths of twine and place them on a sheet of parchment paper in a star shape, crisscrossing in the center. Place your dough centered on top and loosely, very loosely, gather opposing sides and tie in the middle. If you tie them too tightly, they will get lost in the center of your bread and not give you the desired lines you want on your pumpkin. You will need to have a Dutch oven or other heavy-bottomed pot with an oven-safe lid, preheating in a 425-degree oven. Once heated, place the parchment with the dough into the pot, cover, and bake for about 30 minutes. Remove the lid and bake an additional 8 to 10 minutes until golden brown. Remove the bread to a cooling rack and then very carefully remove the twine. It's going to be hot. And decorate with a cinnamon stick and some pretty ribbon. For this, I do make sure to use a cinnamon stick intended for food use. My children and their friends cannot seem to get enough of these mini pumpkin chocolate chip muffins. I've written out the recipe in the video description below, and when I get a chance, I'll try to add it to my website as well. But I typically make about 72 muffins at a time, and they're gone within about 2 days. So it's just crazy how popular they are. The texture is definitely lighter when you make it with 100% all-purpose flour, but it's still also delicious and a little more nutritious with some freshly milled whole grain flour mixed in. I'd say you could do about up to 50-50 whole wheat and all-purpose. Be sure to stay tuned in the coming weeks as I prepare homemade and handmade Christmas content. I already have many ideas floating around in my brain, so I'm looking forward to hopefully sharing those all with you soon. And as always, thank you so much for watching. It wouldn't be nearly as fun without you here. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.